Welcome to the show. We are back. This is Side Jag. The name says it all. That's what we're here to do. Today, we're going to talk about some fun stuff that's going to incorporate the movie Tetris on Apple TV, along with whatever else we happen to be doing. What's up, man?
I listen. I've watched some stuff this time.
Really?
Watched some TV. I've watched one series and two movies.
Wow.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Go for it.
Let's start with X. Have you heard of X?
I have not heard of X.
One of the A24 movies, the people that done the horror movies and all that stuff. They produced, what's his name? Gosh, you gotta go to the memory bank. They Get Out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's that company. The Blumhouse A24's production. Anyways, the story is based on a Texas set in the 70s, 80s, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
Businessman.
Right.
He runs like a XXX store. He's getting into making pornos. So he goes to rent a cabin, kind of bed Airbnb situation long before those existed. And shit goes awry with the crazy wife and the crazy husband, who are very much like Texas Chainsaw Massacre type characters. And it just gets super weird and strange from there. So not highly recommended. But
I mean, you lost me at horror movies, so
yeah, and it's like I wouldn't consider it a terrible movie. It's just I would never watch it again. It's like a 5. It's a 5. It's like a 5 out of 10.
So it's like a shitty B movie.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
But it does have decent production quality. The setting's cool. Like it seems authentic, the setting. And it does. I think the biggest actress in it is Jenna Ortega, Wednesday. So she's in there, and she plays actually a more minor role in that one.
Well, yeah, they couldn't pay her to play a good role.
Yeah,
or she did it before she was famous.
I think it might have been a little bit of both. Because this was definitely before I don't know. Maybe it wasn't before Wednesday. It was around the same time frame. She looks about the same age, so. It's it's a Texas Chainsaw twist kind of mixed with porno. It's not like a porno movie, but it's just I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, I would too. I wouldn't recommend wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
So that's one of them. What have you watched?
Let's hold off on that because I have a whole genre of things that I delved into. I'll go through because I will say this: on the airplane, I watched part of Eddie Murphy Raw.
Oh, old school.
Yeah, I went total old school. And then I went back and watched because I had it on my iPad. Battle Angel, Akila, whatever it was.
Oh, Alita Battle
Angel.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it was just something I just needed something on, and everything else I had I really wanted to watch. So it was one of those things like I know I'm gonna fall asleep, so I'll just put this thing on, and I won't feel bad if I miss a couple minutes of it here and there. But yeah, other than that, I did something interesting, which we'll get to. But what else did you watch?
Okay, let's talk about the series I watched, Hell Camp.
Hell Camp?
So this was the story.
Bro, are you on a horror thing? What's
No, this is a documentary series.
Okay. Oh, Hell Camp.
Hell Camp. So you probably remember in the 80s where there was a big trend of sending kids to camps, like wilderness camps, survival camps, and stuff like that to fix them. The kind of the thing that Dr. Phil still does today. He done it to the Catch Me Outside girl, basically.
Yes.
And they explore that in this documentary a little bit. Right. But it's telling the story of a camp that was started by a guy, I can't remember his name. Turns out the guy's just a huckster the whole time. At first, though, he seems genuine. Like, the things he's saying, the things he's doing does seem genuine, and it seems like he's really trying to help these kids. And so they get these kids out there, bad kids, kids that were on drugs, disobeying their parents, and they just put them basically through hell on a 5-mile march in the desert. One girl ends up dying.
Perfect.
That sets a whole chain of situations that happens where he gets out of it. So he does get out of that first one. He continues to do different iterations of this camp, and it's just he at one point does it on a boat, and he's just continually scamming money out of people. I mean, he's doing this to very rich people. Like I think the governor of Arkansas, like one of his kids was sent to there.
And he's just abusing the shit out of these kids.
Yeah, and he's basically now. At first, you know the physical abuse from the counselors, like they're the one kid that refused to walk. So basically, they kind of beat the shit out of him and drug him. They drug him 100 yards and like, "You ready to walk?" No. Basically till the skin off his back's just raw from dragging him. So that's some of the abuse that's going on. And then later on, you find out that there is some sexual abuse going on. At first, you're not hearing that. Of course, I mean, it's going to happen, right?
How is it not going to happen?
And at the whole time, I'm thinking, because I'm telling Cassie, like, hey, this dude, clearly he's sexually abused one of these girls or something. But they don't say that. They don't say that at first, right? Like, he's kind of in the clear. It's all the counselors doing this stuff. And then as you get deeper into it, it's like, oh, yeah, he's grooming girls and trying to give them back massages and all this type of stuff. He then takes it to Guam, somewhere out of the country. They bust him at that camp as well. And they come in with the U.S. consulate and all that, and they bust him from that camp. He takes it to a boat. So now he's got a sailboat where he's taking these kids on, taking them to a deserted island and doing the same thing over and over and over. And basically he got away with it the whole time until he died. He just kept getting away with it. Yeah, they could never pin him down on a crime.
So we started watching, and it was the Curious Case of Natasha Grace, I think is what it was. So the documentary about the small person. I don't recommend it. Apparently it was these were two, from the sounds of these were two horrible documentaries about it's just the scum of the earth. So she's a small person that was from a little person that got adopted, and it just went sideways, and these two everyone involved is just a piece of shit.
Right.
She's a piece of shit. They're pieces of shit. Anyone that touched these people were pieces of shit. There's you don't even, there's no one to be sorry for. It's like I couldn't watch any more of it because I was like, I can't watch this. The girls kept watching it, but I had to dip because like I just could not get around the fact of how bad people are. Like it's like it's amazing how just stupid and mean and hurtful, and oh my god, like some people should be dealt with some way. I don't know. But there again, everyone got off, everyone was innocent. The jury found everyone innocent, so everyone is living happily, and they're all victims. They're all victims of themselves.
Well, the Hell Camp, like as a documentary, very, very good. Very well produced, shot. The thing, like he dies kind of early of pancreatic cancer or something like that, which is like he kind of got his recompense at the end. But during that, his kids both had huge drug problems.
No way.
So it's like all this stuff's going on. He's fixing kids, but his own kids are horrible on drugs, and it's just, and the wife is in there, and she's like, I feel like she did know what was going on, but she's playing dumb. So it's worth a watch. It's like 4 45-minute episodes.
Yeah.
If someone's interested in the topic, it's interesting to watch because they also compare it to stuff that's still going on today.
Well, yeah. It's like that's the problem with some documentaries. It's just like there's no good people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just some like you have the victim. It's like I want to watch a documentary on something happy for a change. Because it's like we all just are hung up on watching documentaries on just like shit.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Well, that they really, because they get a few of the parents on that sent the kids to this, and it's like you can't hardly blame the parents because as they show, it's like this is what they're saying. Oh, this is good for your kid. We're gonna get them. It's gonna be fitness. They're gonna come back. And here's the coldest part: like there's a lot of kids that went through that program that it fixed them.
Well, yeah. Why
They
wouldn't
didn't
it?
get abused, and they're like telling like, yeah, like this actually helped me. I
Right.
was on a really bad path. I
Tough
was
love,
lucky.
baby.
Yeah, and I didn't get abused in that way. They got maybe verbally abused or stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, in there again, I feel that that's always going to be the case. Is that
Yeah,
it's not for everybody, but the people it's for, it'll do. Some
right,
people need to get beat up and slapped around and dragged through the mud, and then they're like, "Oh, I get it,"
right.
and then they're fantastic. And other people, you need to hold their hands, and it'll be okay. Stop doing the
Yeah.
drugs. So.
Yeah, and it's just it was pretty good. I think that one was worthwhile.
I don't know if I can bring myself to.
Yeah, it's not great. I did watch I watched a movie.
Okay.
This one is actually a few years old. I missed it for whatever reason. It is a movie that I wanted to watch. When I seen the trailer, I was like, "Oh, I want to watch this." But then, it comes out on video on demand, and it just goes by, and you never catch it. I was kind of doom scrolling. You know how you do when you're looking like, I want to find a movie.
Yes.
Boom, going through. I see the
That's
Mandela.
literally the week before I left.
Right, exactly. Have you heard of the Mandela or seen the Mandela effect?
I know what it is, but no, I haven't seen the movie.
Okay, it's about a guy who becomes obsessed with the Mandela effect after the death of his daughter. So his daughter, him and his wife are at the ocean with their daughter. Their daughter goes to play, build sandcastles and all this, has her toy, loses her toy in the water because the sandcastle goes after it dies. Okay. He is having a hard time dealing with this, as anybody would, but much harder time than the wife is. But he's seeing things that's like he's seen his daughter, and he's like, what's going? At first, he's like, yeah, I'm losing my mind, and then he starts seeing stuff about the Mandela effect on YouTube, and then he falls into a deeper rabbit hole and finds a doctor of psychology or something like that who has a whole thing on it. And it just kind of, I don't want to give the whole movie away, but it just trickles down to this Mandela effect rabbit hole, and you do get a conclusion at the end. So for me, who's interested in this weird kind of stuff, I thought it was great. If this doesn't interest you, and you know what the Mandela effect is, which I guess we should state it for most people that don't, is like, and they clearly say like the Berenstain Bears.
Yes.
Everyone thought it was the Berenstain Bears, and they thought they were Jewish or German or something like that. But it was clearly the Berenstain Bears, and we just all misremembered this wrong.
Correct.
And the theory of the movie is that that's not wrong. It's true. It's just a parallel universe. So we're all living in parallel universes that are very similar, but not exactly the same.
Okay.
And he literally goes insane. But it turns out he actually was onto something, and it gets super crazy at the end. So it's like
he get to go to the parallel universe and live with his daughter.
Yeah.
There you go.
But shit goes bad. He goes real bad. It's like he gets what he wants. But as these things, as like changing, time movies, if you change the past, something's gonna change that you might not like.
There's always a price to pay.
Yeah, so it was kind of like one of those movies with a little bit of a twist. So I thought it was good. The production quality is just mediocre. So it's okay in that department, but I thought the premise was kind of fun. And it's if you're interested in this stuff, it's worthwhile. If this doesn't like interest you or intrigue you,
No,
I wouldn't watch it at all.
I feel like I did all my research on that whole thing. Haley and I did it one time, and because she was like, "Bro, you trying to like Mandela me or some shit like that?" One time, I'm
Yeah.
like, "What the frick are you talking about?" You know, it's like,
Exactly.
all right, I gaslit you before. Now I'm Mandelaing
Yeah.
you. What are we talking about, man?
Dude, I'm telling you, like this is all right, Cassie. She has very vivid memories of what happened. And for like the first 15 years we were married, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, you have very explicit details of what happened. So I believe you because I didn't pay close attention to that. So I
Right.
know the outline, I know basically what happened. But you're filling in the details, okay. Well, after I happen to remember something one day, I was like, that's not what happened. Like yours is a three-quarter twist on what actually happened. So at that
Yeah.
point, like important events, I started paying attention to, and
Right.
I just noticed I was like, dude, you've been gaslighting me for 15 years. Like, so now I pay attention. So that way, when you say something, if it's something that matters to me, I have the truth. I know what happened. I committed it to
Right.
memory, and I'm
Yeah.
not letting it go
Well,
because she'll do it to me all the time.
yeah, and there again, that's one
Not
of those things.
malicious. I will say that it's not malicious. It's just
No,
yeah.
but it's perspective.
Right, yeah.
You know, I mean, the reality is even though she's significantly shorter than you,
Yeah.
she doesn't hear as well as the rest of us.
Mhm.
Um, and God only knows whatever other things she sees and hears and does. So, I mean, it's not that it's wrong, it's just from her perspective.
Yeah.
And it's also her emotions that she's telling
Yeah.
the story from.
Yes.
So, for us, we're like, "I don't give a shit," but for her, it could have been, like, tragic,
Exactly, yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're like, I don't remember, like, I don't remember the mail being such a big deal that day," and
Right.
it's like, "Shh, the mailman, he was," and you're like, Whatever," so, yeah, I mean, I feel you have the memories that you felt were important enough to keep,
That's what it
and,
is. Yeah.
if nobody it's because it's like Haley say, "You remember when we did this?" And I'm like, "No." Because it wasn't important to me. It wasn't something, but like other memories that I thought were important, I'll be like, "You don't remember this, do you?" She's like, "No." I'll be like, "All right,
Yeah.
well, there you go."
We all have the memories and like I said, I literally had to something that was important to me that I knew she might have a comment on later, I have to commit it to memory, like, okay, I have to pay attention. Because
Right.
most of the time, I'm just cruising through life, dude, like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
only paying attention to what I got to pay attention to.
exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that's just like the Vegas this past weekend. I mean, there was certain things that a lot of that's time it's just going through the motions. I mean, of just
Yeah.
like taking in the minute while I'm there, but half the time I'm not remembering shit because it
Right.
wasn't anything, you know. Like I remember all the conversations that I had that were important,
Right.
but outside of that, I, you know,
I'll do that on vacation a lot of times where like I'm so in the moment, like I'm just like having the time of my life that
yeah,
after I leave, like I didn't take pictures or I didn't do this and that, and it's like, damn. And I didn't commit it to memory. I have a vague memory of what happened, but I
yeah.
didn't like remember every detail.
I just remember having a good time.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
That's
Like,
all
oh
I
yeah,
want
I
to
remember
remember.
that.
I had a great time.
Yeah,
Um, it's funny because like, especially like an event like that where everyone is taking pictures and everybody's doing, and I always like going through everyone else's pictures, and
yeah.
it's like, man, I don't remember seeing that. Oh shit, oh, I didn't know they were there. Like I didn't see them, but yeah, I have no idea. They just keep sending me these, so
Yeah. Got to
I
be
don't know where we
Dean, man.
get 'em. But
I assume maybe
yeah,
it went.
they don't do cool stuff like
I'll tell
this.
you. I'll tell you an instance where she got me because I would assume most women have a higher level of anxiety than men.
Yeah,
it's not 100%, but so Cassie definitely
some
has.
women do.
Wait, like, dude, I'm like, I'm what's the guys that Mr. Magoo. Like, I'm going through life, shit's happening, bad shit, good shit. It doesn't matter. I'm just going, I'm dodging everything.
Yeah.
And she stresses, which is good. We're a good combo.
She's
She
losing control.
stresses over a lot of the shit that I should probably be stressing over, but I'm not.
Right.
So she can bring it to my attention. Well, we had Bailey's wedding coming up. So when we sat down and figured it out, I was like, okay, we just need to save $800 a month starting this month. And then we'll have all the money for the wedding. That way we don't have to come out of pocket in one big chunk.
Right.
And then so she comes to me yesterday when she's writing down the bills. Like, I was writing down the bills. We're gonna have to put more money in a month. And I said, no, we already went through this. We looked up the totals. No. We're gonna have to. And I said, all right, let's just, like, calm down. Let's rewind it. How much money do we have saved already? This amount. How many months do we have? This amount. Okay, let's do the math. Oh, okay, you're right. I was like, yeah, it's like sometimes when you have the anxiety, you have to do the work after that to figure out the solution to the anxiety. Like, you just had the anxiety. Sure. And then she was bringing it in. I said, listen, we figured this out. So unless we messed up the first time, everything would work out just fine.
Yeah. Well, that's like for me this month, just trying to remember like what day of the week it is, how much time I have, because I have a ton of shit I have to do.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm just trying to, like, every minute that I have, it's like, okay, so I should be doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not doing that. Oh, but we should be doing that. So let's stop doing whatever nonsense, but it's also still trying to get all the day-to-day shit done.
Yeah.
And it's like, ugh, God, what a pain in the ass.
Well, that's what, you have. I think people kind of lose that when you're on YouTube, that you have your day job, which is cardio itself. Then you have your YouTube stuff that you do. You put out more content than anybody. And then, on top of that, you also have your family. So you got family stuff to do during this whole time as well. And literally every second was counted for.
And then we have these shows that we're doing, which
right on top of that.
Yeah. So it's like,
if you're not disciplined, you will definitely lose time.
Just trying to keep track of everything is really the hardest part. And there's going to be no fun for this next month for sure. I mean, it's just going to be go.
That's what killed me from taking a break from summer, where I was just kind of getting burnt out. And I was like, I'll just dial back on the content. But now I have to ramp myself back up to, like, hey, you can't come home and just
relax and
piddle around, because like what I've been doing, it's like, oh, I'm in the garage messing with golf clubs or doing this and doing that. And it's like, all right, you can do that, but you need to make time for it if you want to do that. In order to do that, you have to do this, and this. And once you get this, and this done, then you can do that. So
for sure. Yeah. Oh no, I totally agree. And that's just it. It's just a matter of, like, and God, we got back Monday. It was like I was so tired, man. I went to bed at like 5:36.
Wow.
It just slept the whole night. Oh my God. It was like, and then woke up and I was like, I'm still tired.
Did you wake up and like, where am I?
No, I knew where I was. I just wanted to go back to sleep. It's like, because the problem is we get to the point where, like, I'll get to the point where I'm so tired, I will literally just, like, you'll be talking to me and I'll be listening and I'll just be like,
yeah.
I'm like, I gotta go.
I worked with a lady like that when I had to go to third shift several years back, and she would fall asleep. She'd be telling a story or whatever, training you, whatever, fall asleep 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Literally wake up on the words she was fixing to say. Never in my life seen anything like that.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny too, because, like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do it to ourselves, which is just pure torture. but it,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why we do it. We're stupid. The funniest thing was, we were hanging out Friday night. Some of my buddies from Canada, and I looked at my watch. It's like 2 something in the morning. The problem we ran into is that it was about midnight. We got back from whatever we were doing, and we went walking around trying to find people. And we found the Canadians, and we're like, cool, we'll hang out with them, we'll shoot the shit. And then about 2 o'clock, it finally realized, like, wait a minute, there's nobody out. Like, everybody's in bed sleeping.
Yeah.
And we had an 8 o'clock class that we were teaching. I was like, oh shit, these guys are in bed because they're getting up at 8 o'clock to come to class.
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap, we should probably go to bed. So that we're not
Yeah.
totally like, hey guys, you know.
I
Yeah,
think there's a
it was
threshold though. Like if you can get, for me, so I would prefer to get 6 hours sleep. If I get 8 hours, honestly, it's a little too much for me. Six
yeah.
hours is a sweet spot. But if I'm not getting 6 hours, I probably need less than 4. If I get trapped between 4 and 6, I'm almost useless. I don't know why it's like that, but that's just how it is.
Hmm. I mean, honestly, any amount of it's funny too because you go to bed at so you figure you get back to the room, get a shower, get everything. It's 3 o'clock. Alarm goes off at 6:37, and it's like, okay, there's no. It's just like you're up.
Yeah.
It's up, and it's funny because I will take a shower at night and when I wake up in the morning, mainly just because it wakes me up. But it's like, wait, wasn't I just here? It's
Yeah.
like, fuck, you know, it's like, oh, that's kind of like the reset button for me. Um, even before we left, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning or 3:30 when we went up to the room to leave. And it's like, all right, well, my bags are packed. I got to take a quick shower before we get on the airplane because I know it's going to be another 12 hours, and I don't want to go 48 hours without, so,
Mhm.
it's like, screw this.
I wish
Try-
everyone would take a shower before they got on an airplane, but they
Oh
don't.
no, I have to. I have to change my
Dude.
clothes. I have to get into my airplane outfit, and because it was freezing, but I'm like, I'm still putting shorts on. I'm not.
I mean, you're lucky for a lot of your travels. You get to travel with somebody, dude. I've
Yeah,
got by the man. I just get by people that either they'll pick their nose the whole time, they'll just be coughing in your face the whole time. They smell.
so that's the great thing about headphones, man.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, the
I
talkers.
can, dude. My noise canceling head. As soon as they go
Yeah.
on, I ignore everybody. Like I don't give. As soon as like
Yeah.
blinders, don't give a shit. Like you like I'm on the aisle side, so normally I'll sit in the middle because Frando likes the window, so I'll sit in the middle because I don't really care. Um,
100%. I've got it bad, man.
um, but when I fly alone, I try to get for the aisle seat.
That's what I go for an aisle seat every
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
because I don't. I want to control my own destiny. I've been trapped against the window,
Mhm.
and fuck that. I'm good.
Yeah.
So he needs his beauty sleep. Oh, I need a lot of beauty sleep. Need a lot of beauty sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I've flown on plane with really cool people. People I
Oh,
enjoy
yeah.
talking to the whole time, but then, there's people that just want to talk the whole time, and it's
I
not.
got trapped like that on
Yeah.
with a flight from somewhere. Guy talked to me for like 4 hours. He was a cannon shooter too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, he saw my think tank bag and he was like, "Oh." And the fucked up thing was is he watches YouTube and he loves car stereo and he watches us and he didn't even realize
Oh,
it was
man.
us.
Oh, man.
It's like, "Yeah, I watch these two guys. They do this amazing wiring." I'm like,
I didn't realize it was you.
"It's us."
That's funny,
He's
dude.
like,
The last one I got stopped, it was a talker. He just wanted to talk about his job the whole time. Be like, dude, I don't even care about my job.
"Yeah,
I don't care, dude. I
I don't even look." I could
Yeah.
not pick the guy that is sitting 12 inches away from me head-wise out of a
Yeah.
lineup. Couldn't pick him out, man.
That's about how I do too, but yeah. Hey, see, what messed up was I thought I heard someone say my name. I look, he asked a question, and then it was just over because you try to go back in with the headphones, and then you hear him start talking again. I had the noise canceling on, but I could still tell he's talking to me. Like,
Yeah. No. Yeah. I just ignore it all. I mean, dude, it was funny because hell, one time it was Fernando, me, and Jeff Smith. We all just looked at each other and went,
yep.
it's like, it's on a plane, man. I don't need to talk to nobody. I got the next 4 hours. It's me and this video screen in front of me, and that's it.
Yep.
So
hey, we do it when me and Cassie fly, same way. We'll just put
yeah. Oh yeah, I don't want to talk to you guys.
Yeah, it's just like
it's just fucking annoying. So have you ever heard of Masterclass?
I have.
So I signed up for Masterclass.
Oh.
So here's the rub of Masterclass. So I've been wanting to do this for years because I think it's wonderful, and but the problem is so you pay for the better service, you can download it and watch it on a plane or take it with you. Not all of it, as they don't tell you, is streamable. So I mean, or downloadable. All of it's streamable, but not all of it is downloadable. So the 4 classes I've been dying to watch, can't download them. Like, are you shitting me?
Yeah. If you're paying, it should be everything.
Yeah, I was so pissed, man. I was like, God, I just paid for this crap. Now I don't get to watch the ones I want to watch. So now I have to watch them like at home or at the gym or some shit like that, which I'm fine with. Like, I'm always looking for something to watch at the gym. So it's not like it's a big deal. But it was just one of those things where it was like, I really was looking forward to that.
Got him.
But it's pretty cool, though. I will say it's like, it's definitely worth the money. Like, I watched this one that Kevin Hart did that was really good. And then what is it? Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever the hell his name is. He's doing one that I've been wanting to see.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it's not totally about science.
Right.
It's more about understanding life through science. And he uses like the scientific method to kind of, so it's really it's neat how it's about these things, and he's using these as a correlation,
right?
For getting people to understand like you're a dumbass and stop being a dumbass. And it's like, ooh, I like that. So I watched about half of his on the plane.
Yeah.
And then I was like, anything else when you're just, constantly, it's like, okay, I need to
yeah,
I need to watch something else.
And
then I watched Raw Deal.
Raw Deal.
Yeah. So 1980s, 1990s, Sylvester Stallone, Raw Deal.
I don't even know that I know of that movie.
Probably not. Yep. That was an old one. Definitely 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a yeah. I'm not even gonna
describe better or worse than Over the Top.
What's that?
Better than or worse than Over the Top.
Oh, we're talking Sylvester Stallone type Over the Top? Like the shitty thing. Oh yeah, no, this was an Arnold movie, man.
Oh,
just
really?
Kicked ass and shot people. Yeah.
I liked Over the Top, so
yeah. There was like family and emotions, and no one got their no one got shot. So
yeah. And when you turn your head, it's like a switch, man. I mean,
yeah, exactly. You need that. But anyways, Tetris. So what did you think?
I thought it was great. So I have a lot of questions about this because I did no research on it outside of watching it.
Okay.
Like, I wonder how much of the story is sensationalized. I assume a fair chunk of it is. I know the base story is true.
Yeah.
And the events happen, but to just have like the balls that this dude had to go into Russia and make all this happen, and both of them really. I understand more on the guy that lives in Russia's side because he needs to get out. This other guy, like, he's free, like he doesn't have to deal with any of this. He just wants to make this. He wants to be rich off this product, which he did. But there's
eventually everybody got rich, but
right.
You had to wait the 20 years of Russia controlling it to
Right. And I guess I did realize, but I didn't remember Tetris coming out with Game Boy. I knew that it was the most popular game on Game Boy,
Yeah.
but I didn't remember it coming out with Game Boy.
I mean, I feel like a lot of it was probably sped up, like the
Yeah.
timeline, but I feel like most of it was probably right on point. I mean, I've watched a couple documentaries unwittingly about this,
Right.
and most of it was pretty, pretty accurate as far as how stupid this guy was, and like, you know, he was just running his luck.
Dude, he everything. He leveraged everything. Like everything was riding on this. And the fact that like I don't think that I would ever be that type of guy.
Mm-mm.
I just can't imagine myself like literally putting everything on the line that I have for a product that's not even mine. Something I didn't. Now, if I created it, that's a different story.
Right,
But for a product that's not even his, that he may or may not get the rights to, that he has to basically put himself in harm's way and his family in harm's way
yeah.
to get this deal done. It's like I just can't imagine doing that.
Some people are visionaries, I guess.
They really are, man. Because
Yeah.
without people like that, we wouldn't have the things that we have.
Correct.
Like Steve Jobs he was an asshole.
Right,
But if he wasn't the person he was and basically kind of ruined his family life
right,
to make these products the way they are, we wouldn't have the company that we love today.
right.
And
Yeah.
his family sacrificed for that.
Right. I mean, how far it's always a question of how far are you willing to go to follow your dreams, right?
Yeah.
What and like like they always say, what is the price you're willing to pay for this?
Yeah.
Because nothing comes easy and nothing comes cheap. And when it does, that just means there's something else on the other side waiting for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because no one gets through innocent. There's always gonna be something. To me, I was watching the movie and I mean I had anxiety for the guy.
Me too, man.
I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude, what are you doing? Like, this is so crazy. And he was all about it. And it was like, damn. I mean, because I mean, it's crazy. That's one of those things where it's like, we're taught to believe that some really funky shit happened at that time, during the Cold War and all that ridiculousness. And who knows? Who knows what it was like on the other side? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what they feed us is like the same 5 clips, but it couldn't have been that bad all the time. I mean, but then again, maybe it was.
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
knows?
we don't know because every country has their own propaganda, and
Yeah.
and the winners of the wars write history.
Well,
So
not only that, everyone has propaganda. Like we have propaganda against Russia. That we
yeah,
have a
oh yeah,
stance, and this is what we're going to say. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not going to do the research. I don't care.
right,
You
exactly,
know,
yeah.
oh,
So we only know. It's just like when you say that's the best subwoofer I've ever heard. It's like yeah, like you say, that is
yeah,
probably the best subwoofer you've ever heard. Uh,
yeah,
that's
because you have no
probably the
baseline.
most. Yeah, that's the
You know,
most true thing I've heard about Russia because it's basically the only thing I've ever heard about Russia.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And unless you want to go do the research,
yeah.
you know, I
And even
don't.
if you're doing the research, who knows that you're going to find the truth? You could be finding more propaganda, one side or the other. You
Well,
know,
but I mean, I feel that's what you're looking for, though, right?
yeah,
Because I feel like you need a bunch of left, you need a bunch of right, and then somewhere in the middle is actually the truth.
truth, right?
And,
Yeah,
and I feel like in the world we're in today, nobody wants to believe that, right?
no,
Russia is cold. Let's just
this is
that we
cold.
can all get behind.
Yeah.
Russia is very cold.
Well,
Um,
and the crazy part is, so the translator. Um, at first, I'm like, okay, I had no suspicions of her, at first,
right.
and as it goes on, you kind of think like, what's she doing in here, right? Like she's tried to keep him out of trouble in the beginning. Maybe, is she working with the KGB? Are they getting to her? And then clearly when he gets beat up, his pants stolen, and he's in the hotel and she comes in there, clearly you're like, all right, I didn't think she was working for the KGB. I thought the KGB got to her, but it turns out she was KGB the whole time.
Well, I mean, I feel like anyone that speaks English is like you're not going to run into a bar and find some girl that just
Right.
automatically speaks English because that's not going to happen. You know,
Well, but they had all the I guess all the translators were probably KGB. And on a side jag, since we are a side jag,
Mhm.
how much manpower do they have to spy on every single person in Russia? Like, and how do they choose who they're spying on? What triggers that? Because they were doing it to who knows how many people.
Yeah.
But it just seems like,
Well, I think that I think it's like anything else. I think your job, your friends,
yeah,
you know, if you look back through history at the guys that were the turncoats, as it were, you know, everybody watched everybody.
yeah,
You
that
know,
would have to
so
be, yeah,
everyone was suspect. You know, you have families that are spying on each other. You know, so yeah, I mean, I just feel everybody spied on everybody, and it just went up the food chain. So if you were suspect, someone reported you, and they pay a little bit more attention to you.
right.
Then if you don't do anything, they just move on to the next one.
You
Um,
never watched Black Mirror, did you?
mm,
So there's some good episodes in there. This is one of them. It's where they go and they have a social credit score. So every interaction that you have with people, they rate you, and
yeah,
that uh, picks your status. So
yeah.
if you have a low social rating, you're a bum. Basically, you live homeless.
They
High
did that
social,
on they did that on Star Trek too.
did they
And
really?
yeah, and if your social status went down too low, you were executed.
Hmm. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that was a really good episode.
Yeah, that sucks. But but the thing of it is it's not like it's not reality, right? Because I mean,
Yeah, that's reality. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I mean that's the cancel culture reality, or the what if, or the guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, don't say bomb on an airplane.
I just watched that one. Bomb, 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 but we're going to bomb it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was actually relative for one of the guys on the trip this week. They got asked to leave the airplane. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. It's like, okay, terrorist.
Yeah, but like you were saying, like the social credit score is real in United States and in anywhere because we all
Yeah.
have social norms. And although I will say that like people are kind of crazy now, so a lot of things acceptable that wasn't acceptable in 2010.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So
sure.
they're kind of stretching that boundary there. But if you would do certain things, like you're like you can't say bomb an airplane, you can't hurt animals, you can't hurt people. You're going to be in prison or whatever. Even if you didn't get that, you're still your level is below. You can't act super weird.
Right.
Any of these things, someone might not say something to you, but they're going to treat you different depending
Right.
on how you act according to our culture.
Or your personal culture. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean for sure. And there again, that is how these things are done. In Russia, that's that time,
yeah,
not today. But that's in there again. That is what we were led to believe. Whether
right.
it's true or not, I don't know. But everything that we've been taught, that was that's basically what we were led to believe is that everybody rats on everybody, and it's like I'm sure it's not. It's true from a certain point of view or a certain perspective, but
Right.
you know, and this movie just kind of shows that in a brief, whatever. And there again, I'm sure they created characters to speed the things up. Like there was probably multiple spies that were involved in him for the amount of times he
Right.
traveled back and forth. Probably just wasn't the one lady. So and there was probably multiple situations, but they streamlined it and it was just one, it's like,
Yeah.
but
Well, and
and
they do show the good side with the guy who believes in the communism truly and not as a mechanism of power. And he's
right.
like, "Yeah, this is not what's best for the country. I can tell you're doing something for yourself So he takes a chance and he gets beat up for it. And he could have got killed. I mean, he could have got killed for that, but he took a chance. So you do see that. And it's like, there's, people forget. I think people, when they hear bad things about wherever you might hate North Korea, does that make you hate every North Korean people? It shouldn't. You might hate the government, people hate the United States government. You shouldn't hate the people for what their government is doing. Unless if they're involved in those actions, sure. But just the common people that live there.
That's the line, right? Because you're like, like they have that new movie coming out where like from those guys that so American Civil War, I think, is the next movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like, 6 states succeed, and then you have the girl's got to travel around and she's trying to report it for the news, and the guy goes, "Well, where are you from?" And they're like, "United States." And they go, "Which United States?" It's like, I mean, come on, and it's just like, but I could see that, it's the sad thing is it's a movie, and it's like Red Dawn, but we're doing it to ourselves.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, really?
Well, that's like, this is way side jag, but that's the only way the United States falls, is we do it to ourselves.
Yeah. Well, and the reality is that it's the fringes though that cause this.
Right, yeah.
Because most people, I feel most people want to just get up, go to work, come home, kiss their wife, have dinner, rinse and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to live a simple life. I don't need to be involved in shit that is outside of oh, well, they're doing this to you and they're doing it. And I accept that.
Right, yeah.
Because if I accept that, I get to do what I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are fighting the wrong fight. It's like, oh, you're just cattle, you're just sheep. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But I feel it's whatever's important to you. Yes, they do. I mean, it's always going to be the fringes that screw things up for everybody.
Yeah. Hardliners, man. They're always.
But to them, to be fair, to them, it is just equally important. So, like, my life doing what I like to do is important to me. Their life doing they like to do is important to them. We can both have these things and we can disagree on them, and we can get along. But that's the problem, is that they don't want to get along with somebody that thinks that, because it goes against so that's where if you're not on my team, you suck.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, it's like I tell Kyle, he's young, and I used to think the same way he thinks. It's like I need to change this system. Speaking of, I like at work. He works at my work, and I just tell him, like, Kyle, you have 2 decisions, or 3. There's 3 paths you can go. You can, fight the system the whole way. That's the hard, big upside, big downside, right?
Right.
So if you change the system up, you did what you went to do. You could also, lose your job or whatever.
Right.
The second path is find a way to thrive within the current system. How can you thrive in the system that's going?
Right.
So what's your niche? What can you do to thrive within the corrupt system that you've identified as corrupt? Right. And the third path is thrive within the system while trying to make small changes to the system. Once you rise up to a place of power, once you get up to power, now you can start to make a few changes. You're not going to be able to flip the whole system, but that's the third rail that you can try.
Fro's being funny. No, it's funny you say it, Fro, because I actually did have a guy that did that. It's beautiful Bibles. Sent us some beautiful Bibles. And we gave them away. We went online. We're like, hey, man, somebody sent us these. These are gorgeous. They were leather bound. They were fantastic. I was like, I'm good. But if there's somebody out there that this would benefit, by all means, send me a link and I will gladly ship them out to you. And sure enough, there was 2 guys that were like, I would love to have this Bible. And I said, I would love to send it to you. So paid the shipping, sent it off to them. They said, thank you very much. When they got them, it's like, go with God and be merry, man.
That's like those little Gideon Bibles that they'll hand out, like the fair and stuff like that. I just tell them, like, listen, I don't need this small Bible. For one, I can't throw away a Bible. Like, I can't I feel like I can't do it. Like something's gonna happen to you if you.
Well, exactly. That's why I was like, I appreciate the
Like,
guy sent them to me, but I can't throw them away.
yeah, like
I
now
gotta
I
go to
got them,
somebody.
and it's like, listen, there's Bibles in here. We don't need those ones. Like you
Right.
keep them for someone that truly needs them because I cannot throw these away, and I don't know what to do with them. I don't want to store them. So
yeah, it's like toxic. I'm not gonna say toxic waste, but it's like
yeah.
it's like I can't either.
Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. It's like bad juju.
It's so bad juju.
It doesn't matter if you're Christian, you're not Christian, whatever. Like I just feel like if you throw away a Bible, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, New Testament small red book. Yep, had one of those. I got one of those somewhere.
Yeah,
you know. But no, it's exactly right. It's like just please don't give me that, please.
yeah.
Because now you've moved the burden onto me of trying to find it a new home.
Yeah, like you put me in a situation now. I don't want to be in a situation.
yeah. You're probably right. But yeah, 100%. In there again, it's not that your beliefs are yours.
Right.
It's funny because we talk about all that we talk about at work all the time, and this shows as always is sidejagged in a totally different path. But because of the movie topic, I feel it's relevant. When I was a kid, you never talked about politics. Politics was a private thing.
Right.
You may have talked about them around your homies at the gun shop or whatever it was, but it wasn't anything that was as rampant as it is now. And there again, evolution, self-aware, more and more people are involved. Get the young ones while you can. Whatever the marketing ploy has become to where people now wear it right here where everyone can read it. That never happened. Like that just didn't exist that way. And now it does. And it's very strange that it's become this identity for people.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like it's your whole identity is the.
And it's like, why don't you make your own identity? Like I feel I feel like individualism identity is almost looked down upon.
Yeah.
Because it's what are you, one of those guys, huh? You gotta be individual. He's like, no, I just want to be who I am. And I don't care if you don't like it. It's just who I am. And I want,
well, both sides get you because it's like, well, I agree with some things you say, and I agree with some things you say, and I disagree with some things you say. I disagree with some things you say. But that is unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
I was talking with a guy. I won't name. And I said, it had nothing to do with my chosen profession. But I said, hey man, do you buy into all this stuff that you guys talk about? And he goes, what? You don't? Like, okay. Let's back it up and let's start to break this down into like what you mean by you don't. Okay, because there's one thing to believe in aliens and UFOs, and there's another thing to believe this. And that's like right there. It's all crap. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna stick with believing in aliens and UFOs. Seems more plausible.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's how I had to end. I said, no, that's okay. I was just curious. I mean, you can believe whatever you like. I was just in the back of my head, I'm going, you're just as bad as they are. It's okay. I still like you as a person.
Right. Yeah. That's the part people forget. It's like you can disagree, but do you know this person? Here's the thing. They get into arguments with people they didn't know. But people you know whether they're a good person or not.
Right.
And it's like they may believe this, but are they a good person? Now, sometimes what they believe turns them into a bad person.
And that's the problem.
Yeah. So when that happens, it's like, well, I mean, you turn yourself into a bad person. I'm sorry. Because of what
it kind of goes back to that Mandela effect movie you're watching, is that if you go too far down the rabbit hole in anything, it becomes all consuming. You know? And it's like sometimes you got to dial back, which is okay. I mean, whatever works for you, just so it doesn't affect me. I don't care.
Exactly.
It's really what it comes down to. It's like, can you leave me out of this? Okay, then we can be buddies.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, going back to a knowledge fest, like the Vegas thing is like everybody there. You have this. Everyone is on this path, and it's like, listen, if you want to ask me a question, I'm going to answer it how I answer a question. I am not going to be it's this is my thought on this. You know, I'm not going to
Yeah,
care who might disagree with me. You don't have to agree with me. This is
yeah,
the answer to this question and how I see fit to answer it. And it's
right. And if
okay.
you don't want to know, don't ask me. Like,
Right. And if you go, oh,
I
that,
won't volunteer it unless you ask
right.
me.
And if you go, oh, that's bullshit, I go, that's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. In my world, it's not bullshit. Well, then your
Uh-huh.
world's fucked up. It's like, might be.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
fine with it though. I can
and
accept that.
somehow these people have so much time to really go down the rabbit hole of these arguments and debate back and forth. And it's like, dude, like you just see it on Facebook. Like, how much time do you guys? You really have a lot of time invested in this argument that is going to change neither one of your minds.
So I like any good UFO documentaries to watch. You know, that's the problem with every single one of them is that
It gets so
the
sketchy, man.
the thing with UFO documentary is they're the biggest clickbait ever. Like,
Yeah, it's like a
I think
Bigfoot documentary.
it's just clickbait. Like,
Yeah,
you know, I'll take the moniker of you know, the X-Files. I want to believe. I
yeah,
mean, I'll watch them all. I'll watch Ancient Aliens. And there again, don't get
yeah,
me wrong. I'm not a hobbyist of any stretch. Do I think there's smarter people out there than us, or people out there other than us?
yeah.
I mean, probability would say there has to be.
That's my take on it as well. It's like we exist, right? So you're telling me that somehow out of the whole vast universe, no one else exists. I can't believe that.
No,
You
it
know,
doesn't
I
make any
haven't
sense.
seen. I guess at that point it's kind of faith because I haven't seen proof of other life. But like I
Listen,
said,
if we're gonna go down the if we're gonna
well,
go down the proof train,
yeah.
you know,
Well, this is the best Earth I know.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? It's the only
yeah,
Earth I know. It's the best Earth I know. So
exactly. This is the best cracker I've ever eaten.
yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's fine. You know,
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's okay. Um, so now we come to that part in the show where we should have already figured out what we want to
What we're
watch.
gonna watch?
Um, because
I don't. Let me see. I don't think I saved anything this time.
what is this? The greatest night in pop.
Oh, about the We Are the World.
On January 1985, musicians' biggest stars gathered to record "We Are the World."
Who
Oh
told me
wow,
that was good? My buddy texted me and told me that was worth a watch.
let's watch it.
Okay, yeah, we'll watch
Yeah,
it. It was on the list.
yeah,
Cool. That was easy.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks good to me. Um, yeah.
In the Matrix.
Um, I'm the only person who exists. You guys are all fake. I'm in the Matrix.
Keep me in the Matrix, dude. Like after watching the Matrix
No.
movie, keep me in the Matrix, bro. Like do what you're
Yeah,
gonna
I don't want
do.
to get out. I don't want to
Yeah.
get out. It's
But
way
like
too
if
much
I
work.
find out about it, I'm blackmailing you because I want to be rich. I want to do all this stuff that I want to do. Like I want to, I want all the benefits if I find out that it is the Matrix. I'm trying to do the thing where he gets to stay, gets the money, gets everything he wants. That's what I'm gonna do. And I will rat out every single other person. Like we're all in the Matrix, bro.
I don't even want. I don't know. I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, my problem is the stuff I do know. It hurts sometimes because it's like you're just like, oh man,
Yeah.
you're telling me this crap. I gotta keep that secret
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's not even a good secret. You know, it's like, oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Can't talk about that. Damn it. You
That's
know.
how it goes. I do have one reveal that I didn't show on the other.
Yeah.
I decided what I want to do with my midlife crisis. I'm gonna do a mullet.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm not. Cassie said I wouldn't do it. Now I'm gonna do it. Let's see how long I keep it up. We're in the first stage of it. Not like a full on 80s mullet, but like some hair in the back, party in the front, party in the back though.
I liked it when you were bald.
We'll see. I don't know how long I'll keep it up.
So
I
it's
got
funny. The guy that runs Memphis Audio, a guy by the name of Nick,
Yeah.
That's what he has. He has that shaved here, mullet in the back, and
Yeah.
and I get it. I just look at it and I go,
well, when you see from here, you can't tell, right? It just looks like a normal haircut. And it is now because it's not very long. But as it grows in the back, I'm not going to let it get too long. We'll see. I don't know. It's an experiment. I figured it'd be funny.
all right, let me know how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, that's the show, guys.
That's it.
Thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week with more excitement, talking about the greatest night in pop and whatever else happens. Maybe we'll go get some tacos.
Yeah, maybe. Listen, we got to talk. We got to eat something good this week. We talked about no food this time.
I still got some food we can talk about, but hopefully we'll have some good food.
All right.
All right. That's it, guys.
See ya.
See ya.